Hello and welcome back in my reading corner. Thank you so much for joining me again to check out my TBR for it is the SeasonAthon. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Cici and I do mostly bookish subscription box unboxings, but sometimes I do bookish stuff as well, just like the TBR we're here for today. I am trying to read 26 books this month. I know, crazy. And you can find my full TBR in another video where I'm just mentioning the books because 26 books. And I'm also trying to do 4 readathons this month, and I want to get a little bit more into the books that I want to read during the TBR videos for these readathons. So that's what we're here for today. The Tis the SeasonAthon will run from December 3rd to December 9th, so we're starting soon. And it's hosted by Bookables, Chelsea Darling Reads, and Super Space Chick. And I am so looking forward to this. I think there's also photo challenges and I totally have to check that out. I'm not big on like Bookstagram, but I still want to check it out, maybe on Twitter or something. So let's check out the challenges. The first challenge is read a book with red or green on the cover, and for this I have chosen Der Spiegelwächter. It's a German book that I have received an e-arc of, and it's pretty much one of those books where you have like, I think there's like 5 mirrors in the world, and through these mirrors you step into this world of Eldred, and the person we're following steps through it by accident, and well, she has to save it pretty much. I mean, it's the standard plot, and I'm just excited to see if it's going to be interesting enough to keep my attention, or if it's just going to be the old same thing. I still like that kind of story, so I'm not mad if it's the same thing. And the next challenge is read a book while listening to holiday music. So I can pretty much read whatever I want. Oh yeah, these mangas are representing my digital ones. So digital book number 1. Digital book number 2 is The Confectioner's Guild. I also have an e-arc of that book, and I am so going to listen to holiday music while I'm reading it. The Confectioner's Guild is following this girl who's like baking, and she's part of this guild, and she didn't know magic existed, and she suddenly learns that in her baking she has magic, and while she's learning that, like somebody in the guild, I don't know if it's like a teacher or something, drops dead, killed by her cupcake. So while she learns about this new world that she has no like understanding of, she also has to find out who framed her for like murdering this guy. And yeah, I think it sounds amazing, and I totally think this could be up my alley. The next is read a warm and fuzzy book. And I was like, okay, you might be able to see my December TBR in the back here. Let's see. So this is pretty much the TBR that I had already chosen, and like most of it. I was thinking like, what? I have like over 200 books here. What is a warm and fuzzy book? I have no idea, because I don't know if any of these books is warm and fuzzy. And I wasn't in the mood to get like another romance, because even if they might be warm and fuzzy, I'm not in the mood for romance. So I chose a book where the cover has fire on it, because that's warm and fuzzy, isn't it? I was meaning to read it anyways. City of Brass. We are following this girl who is like this con artist, and she doesn't believe in magic. She just she does like palm readings and stuff, but she knows it's all like bogus. And then by chance she suddenly summons this djinn, and he introduces her to this magical world. And what I really liked about what it said about this book is a true power is fierce and brutal. Magic cannot shield you from dangerous web of court politics. I love like these court politics kind of scheming stuff. Even the cleverest schemes can have deadly consequences. I love clever schemes and I love deadly consequences. There's a reason they say After all, there's a reason they say, be careful what you wish for. Again, I love any book that has to do with like wishes and wishes coming true. And so this just sounds perfect. This is actually a book from the format Booktubers Recommend, where I have asked 12 booktubers at the end of last year to recommend me a book that I wanted to read this year, and I haven't gotten to it yet, so I really need to finish this year. This was recommended to me by Janani. Awesome channel, have to check her out. And she said that she highly recommends this book. It's a fantastic high fantasy novel that contains vivid world building, fantastic cultures, diverse characters, and is just such a fun and entertaining read overall. Doesn't that sound interesting and good, and like everybody should be reading this? All right, so where were we? Challenge number 4 is read a short book, 200 to 250 pages, and for that I'm going to be reading Beneath the Sugar Sky. It's number 3 in the Wayward Children. Is it a quartet? I don't know. I have loved the first 2 books, where we are following these group of young kids who are in Eleanor West's home for wayward children. This is basically children who have gone through a door or a mirror or whatever into another fantastical world, and they have come back and they have now trouble coping with being back. And in Eleanor West's home for wayward children, there's all these children who want to go back, who desperately want to go be back in that world, and they can't find their door anymore and this kind of stuff. So in the first book, it was kind of a mystery book of some sort, and I really enjoyed it. The second book I enjoyed so much more even. We were following 2 sisters into their world. And book number 3 plays again in the home that they're in, and I'm really excited to see what this turns out to be. And the last challenge is read a holiday themed book. I don't have a holiday themed book that I want to read at all. I read a holiday themed book last year that I loved, The Afterlife of Holly Chase, but there's no holiday themed book that piques my interest like at all right now. And I have over 200 books on my physical shelf that I need to read, so I wasn't like going out to get a Christmassy book. So I have decided to bend that challenge a little bit, and I'm going to be reading Caraval for this challenge. Caraval, from my understanding, it's not a holiday themed, but it feels like a festive themed, because, well, not because there's like a holiday, but because of this like fantastical game, what are they calling it? Once a year performance where the audience participates in the show. It's a performance, it's a show, it's a once a year. I think that kind of counts like sort of a festive holiday kind of thing. Basically, we're following this girl, and she is really excited about being invited to this performance, and then she gets kidnapped, and she starts to understand that she's the main attraction of the show, because it's all about finding her. And this seems to be like very like a lot of things are supposed to happen. And what I really liked is somebody saying in this book you cannot trust anything. Everything that I heard good about this book was about being a lot of twists and turns and a wonderful plot. Everything bad that I heard about, because there's quite a few people who say they're flat characters. I don't mind if it's a good twist and turny plot, so this might be the right book for me. So these are the 5 books for the 5 challenges for the SeasonAthon. I now have to go check out the full challenges because I want to see if I can take part in them as well. And I really hope that I'm going to be able to connect to some of you guys out there who are going to take part in this readathon as well. And there they go. Until then, bye!